And so like a lot of people associate acedia with laziness. It's like, oh man, that's so far off. I'll just recline and drink a Miller Lite out of a beer koozie while like petting my golden retriever and just hope to die soon. But it can also be associated with excessive industriousness. So there's some people who say like, I know that in order to be a saint, I need to pray for 20 minutes each day. I need to go to the sacrament of confession once a month. I need to receive Holy Communion in a worthy state, not just on Sundays and holy days, but probably a couple days besides. That I need to introduce some penance into my life, that I need to invest in my Christian friendships, that I need to study the faith, that I probably need to serve the material poor, and they say, I don't know if I can do any of that, but I can make a ton of money. Right? And so you see them frantically moving about and often doing things which look a lot like Christian ministry or like kind of Christian work. But in fact, that frenetic pace, that hyper-industriousness, it's covering over a quiet despair or a kind of acedia, which is a sadness at the recognition of how far heaven is in fact. So I think that so obviously the virtue whereby we push back is the virtue of hope. Because hope is a recognition that God is omnipotent and He is merciful. He's promised to give us Himself. He's going to come through on that promise, and that He has set, kind of before me, or He's put at my disposal various means to attain to this end. When I make use of this means, it's often going to be humble. It's often going to be modest. It's often going to be relatively simple and straightforward. Just because it's not grandiose doesn't mean it's not important. In fact, it's super important. But I need to be content to labor my whole life long, because that is the shape of my salvation. And provided that I make good use of the means, I can be confident that God who has begun a good work in me will see it to completion. So then, pushing back against whether a spirit of laziness or a spirit of excessive industriousness, we cultivate this spirit of trust, but a trust which animates our efforts to respond to God's gift.